let me share my screen once. So today we are going to start with JUnit and Mockito. Okay. So now first is JUnit, right? JUnit we have to learn first, and then we can able to use the Mockito. Okay. What is this JUnit actually? So JUnit is, you can say, is one of the popular you can say open source, okay, testing framework. So it's a testing framework actually. So open source, you can say, yeah, open source testing framework, okay, for Java programming, for, you can say, for Java programming. Okay, what we can test using the JUnit, Java unit. Unit means, you can say, unit testing. That means we can test the entire component, we can test the entire class. Okay, so that is the reason they given the name JUnit. Okay, now what this JUnit is aligned to the developer, what is the facilities provided by to the developer. So JUnit, right, you can say, provides facility provides facility to test, okay, individual, you can say, individual, okay, units, or you can say classes, okay, units of code, like such as, we can say, method, or we can say class. Okay, so JUnit specifically is going to test your, like, methods in the class, how they behave. Okay, so whether, okay, whether the methods behaving properly or not, okay, as per the expectation, behaving properly or not as per the expectation, we can say. So this is the reason we are going to use the JUnit. Okay, now what this JUnit framework is providing to us. Okay, so this framework, once I'll add this framework to my application, this framework provides so many annotations again, and using that annotations we can able to easily accomplish this task to test our expected output. Okay, to test our expected output. So what are the annotations? So annotations, we can say, provided by JUnit framework. Okay, so JUnit framework, what are the annotations provided? First is annotations they given at the rate test annotation. Okay, so test annotation we are going to apply. So this annotation is used with methods, right, which we defined to test our unit or portion of the code, test our portion of our code. Okay, of our code. Okay, so for that we are using test annotation. Okay, now number two is at the rate before annotation. Okay, at the rate before annotation. So before going to test our code, if you want to do some initialization part, you can you can define one method and annotate this method with the before, and you can able to provide the setup operation. Okay, so this annotated method means, you can say, before annotated method are executed. Okay, executed before any test case, before any test case. Okay, so before any test cases we can provide this before method to just do our setup operations. So यदि हमको कोई method को test करना है, I'll show you programmatically also, we must have to declare the object, and that object you can set up in this before annotated method. which is going to be executed before any test case is going to be invoked. Now we have at the rate after. So this after annotated method is executed after any test cases. Annotated method executed after every test cases. Means test cases means the methods which are annotated with the test annotation. Okay, and we have the annotations called before class. Okay, before class, this annotations, the annotated method. So everything we are annotating with the method. Annotated method, okay, executed before all test cases. All test cases, right? And vice versa is there after all test cases. If you want to execute, so you can use after annotated annotation method executed after all test cases, we can say like that. So this is going to provide you these annotations, powerful annotations, right? So this annotations is right is used to just annotate the instruction to the just we are annotating or providing the instruction to the methods, so methods can work properly accordingly based on the injection of these annotations. Okay, now this JUnit testing framework also provides some like assertion, you can say methods. Okay, so assertion methods, like I'm just going to use some methods called, all the methods are static methods in the JUnit assert uh, class actually. Okay, so all the methods are static methods. So these static methods are like assert equal. Okay, we can use the method called assert equal, which is going to take two parameters. Okay, one is the expected, what we are expecting after method call, and what is the actual return type of the method, what the method is actually returning and what we are expecting. So this return true or false based on that. Okay, like this way we have so many methods are there. Assert functions, we are saying assert equal, assert not equal. Okay, not equal, we can say. Here also we can give expected and actual, expected and actual. Okay, like this way we have many methods are there, like assert null is there. Okay, so we can pass the object to check whether the object is null or not. Okay, so assert null, we are passing the expected object, expected return type. Like that we have the assert not null. Okay, assert not null is there. Here also you can pass the expected object after method calling. So okay, so these are the functions are there. Assert true, assert false also is there. Okay, we'll use this based on our right requirement. So assert to assert false is also there. Okay, so this all methods are provided in this JUnit testing framework. Okay, and one more thing, this JUnit testing framework can be integrated with any build tool. That is the that will be the one of the benefit for us. We are using the Maven tool, and with this Maven tool, with this Maven or with this Gradle, or if you in future we are going to learn the Jenkins. If you learn with the Jenkins also, you can able to integrate this particular JUnit. So JUnit can be integrated with uh, any build tool, can be integrated, okay, with any build tool, any tool like we can say Maven, Gradle. Okay, we can able to, or any integration tools. If continuous integration environment, we can use the, and in CI environment. Okay, or we can use Jenkins too. Jenkins also can be integrated with this. Okay, so these are the like this is just this JUnit is going to provide for us. So JUnit is going to say that I'll just test your all test cases, okay, all your expected just test your behaviors of the class actually. Now let's understand how it's going to test the behaviors of the class, how it's going to be helpful for us. Okay, so let me just go to the program once. First, we'll try to understand this JUnit. Okay, so let me create one new Java Spring Starter project. Okay, I'll use here not REST. Later, I'll show you the REST also. Spring, I'll say JUnit test. Okay, and suppose Maven I'm going to use. Packaging I'm not going to bother about the packaging part. Jar you can say 17. I'll change it according to my this uh, version of the JDK. And here I just use database. I don't need right now. I need Spring Web and Spring Boot Spring Boot development tool. I don't need JPA and MySQL Server. I just show you one simple program on this, and then I'll come back to the next one. Next, okay. So I have created one simple Spring Boot application. I given the name JUnit. Let me just versions I need to change. Okay, so let me just say 2 point. Just change this versions, and I am going to this. I want to change this 1.8. Okay, and I have saved this file. Let me check whether everything is coming perfectly or not. Okay, so it's building everything. See, it's just building everything, and my building process is 50%. So after that, we create this 100% of this. Okay, so let me check. Let me test with simple one application, one program with JUnit. Okay, let me right click and say Maven update project. Force to update the project. So this is what Maven created for me, this entire structure of this Maven project. Okay, and inside the src slash main slash java, like I'm writing some um, class over here. So some of the class, some package I'm going to create. I'm going to create the package names called simple. You can say uh, demo package. Inside the demo package, suppose I'm going to create a model package only. Okay, in the model package, I'm going to create one Java class, simple Java class. I'm going to create this class name called. Suppose I'm going to create the class name called my helper class. Okay, helper class or anything you can give the name. Okay, so in this class, helper class, suppose I'm having the two methods. One method public string, and I'll say uh, some method name, method one name. I'll give something. I'll say the change position of string, like that. Some method I'm defining position of string. Suppose, and I'm passing on string over here. String in this I'm passing as a parameter. Suppose this is my method. I want to test this method, but I want to write some logic, then I'll test. Okay, I'll say if the given string dot length, suppose just something I'm giving, given string dot length, if it is less than or equal to 2. If the string length is 2, then I'll say then return. I want to write something called replacing replace this. Suppose whatever the if in the string is consisting a, all the a will be replaced with this empty character. Okay, let's just writing something. Or else what will happen, or else I'll say substring I'll do. So I'll say substring of from 0 comma 2. So okay, so I want to just say string s1, okay, and string s2 I'll give. So just writing some logic. This is to test this particular this method. So str dot substring, we can say suppose 2 from 2, because if the length less than 2, then I'm replacing this all a into empty string. Or else if the subs if the length greater than 2 and something, then from that string I'm going to just invoking the substring function, and I want to get the substring of that original string and initialize into s1. Same thing I'm doing for the s2 also. Substring from 2, not from 0 to 2, from 2. Suppose I just wrote some logic actually for understanding purpose. Okay, and what I'll say here I'll say that, okay, so I'll say I'm going to return the, if the return, suppose first plus, or you can say s1 plus s1 is the first and s2. Suppose something I'm doing over here. Okay, so let's say here if I give the input called AACD, right? In this case, ACD length is greater than 2, so it will come. So in this 0, 1, 2, here it will store AA, here it will store AA, and here it will store CD, and the output will come, suppose CD, AACD in this case. Okay, output should come AACD. Okay, but if I give input called AA, okay, only 2 less than or equal to 2, then all A will become empty. Then output in this case should become nothing, empty, right? So this is what this method is behaving, and we are expecting this should give this expected output as per this given input. Okay, let me just define one more method over here and we'll test it. So public boolean, I'll give one more method. So I'll say check, uh, right, first, suppose I give the name first and last chars. I want to check whether the first and last characters are equal or not. Suppose, okay, chars are same, check last and first and last chars are same, okay, or not. Okay, so this is the method I defined, a big method name I given. String I given str, anything you can give the name for this. Okay, and I'm just checking that, okay, that whether the first and last characters are equal or not. Okay, so again I'll just say that if I'll give str dot length, okay, less than or equals to 1, I'll say that return false. Okay, I'll say if str dot length equal to 0, then also I'll say a return for if it is equal to 0, then it's return true. Okay, okay, so return true, because return type is boolean I given. And what I do here, string dot substring, okay, substring I'm going to say 0 comma 2. So first two characters will be fetched. If I give ABCD, AB will be initialized in this. If I give the input ABCD, here AB will be initialized over here right now in the first two characters. Okay, so first and two last characters are same or not. Okay, now I'll say string s2 equals to str dot substring uh, str dot substring. I'll say that str dot length whatever length minus 2, last two characters I want to fetch, right? So that I'll do, and I'll say return s1 dot equals s2 or not. So this is what also is going to return boolean, right? In this case, this is also is going to return true or false. 2 minute, true or false. So this is what I have defined one unit, one class here. This class consisting this two methods. Okay, method one and the second method is the method two. Okay, this both methods are there in this class. Okay, here what I wrote 2y s2, it should be s2. Okay, now as per the given expectation, what I'll do, let me write the JUnit test case for this. Okay, you can also write the JUnit test case over here also, but Mamin is saying that I have given you the separate folder for you. You can write your test files in that folder. That will be better to identify, and that better to like uh, divide your coding actual code from the testing code actually. Okay, so what I'll do here, inside this you can see the once we'll create a Spring Boot project, Spring Boot parent dependency is going to add this once we'll like creating the Spring Boot application with the Spring Boot starter parent, Spring Boot is going to add this JUnit test case for us. You can see here in the Maven means that JUnit library is included with our project. If you want to check, you can check it from here. You can see here that we have this let me just check, comes down. Mockito is also there. You can see Mockito is there. Mockito code is available. JUnit is there. JUnit Jupyter is there, right? So JUnit is also available over here, correct? So everything is there in this. Okay, so we can able to use that, right? So let me just check it inside this Spring Boot starter parent. We can also create our own class also. If you don't want to create the Spring Boot starter parent, you can use different class also, okay, to test this. But let me just use this in this class, no problem. We can able to use this class also, they given for us. Okay, and they just given one simple like one demo here that we can able to add this test annotation with this methods like this way. Okay, and the method which is uh, including or annotating this test annotation should return type will be void. Okay, should be void. Okay, so let me just define one method over here. So but before that I need to create I have to do the all setup for that, right? So I have to create the object of my helper class which I want to test. Okay, so first thing is what I need to create. Okay, the object of my helper class, object of my helper class which I need to test. Okay, so I told you there are so many annotations are there. I can use one of the annotation called before annotation. Okay, before each test class annotation is there, before test class annotation is there. Okay, before all test classes annotations are there. Okay, so before each I'm going to write here. Okay, before each I'm going to say with public void. Okay, I'll say set up our of things ready to be ready, right? Now let me just declare a my helper reference over here, my helper which I want to test. okay, and I'm initializing with the null value, and my helper I'm going to just check get import from the model package, okay. And here I'll say that my helper object dot, let me say here, helper object I initialize new my helper object, okay. So I'm just creating the object of my helper. So I'm, this is my ready, right? And then what I'll say, I want to test my method. Actually these two methods I can test many times, so I'm testing it. Void, I'll say test first method. You can write any name of the method case 1 for test first method case 1, okay. Case or condition 1 I want to test, okay. So what I'll do, I want to test this method first. So where is my method? My helper is the method which I want to test, which having some complex, you can say some logics are there, some string manipulations are there, this method, okay. So this method I want to test, change position of string, okay. So something I'm doing over here, right? So what I'll do here, I'll say that uh, I'll say that assert, there is a method called assert. See all the assert functions you can able to see over here. Assert equals, you see there is a method called assert equals for all this. This method is overloaded actually for all the data types, character, byte, we have the short, long, int, right? For everything is overloaded. Now I can just pick up anything, assert equals, okay. And what I'm expecting based on the parameter, suppose if I'll give AACD, I should expect AACD only, okay. So let me say AACD, okay. And this is what I'm expecting. And what is my actual is helper dot, okay. I'll give here input AACD. I'm calling this method from here, and this method should be annotated with at the rate test annotation, okay. So this is what I'm checking one test condition over here, okay. Like this way, let me check one more test condition. So let me check one more test condition. So condition 1 case 2 I'm giving, okay. I want this expectation, I want empty. Once I'll say only, if I'll say only, what happened? If I'll say, only this value cd a, guys give me 2 minutes, give me 2 minutes. So okay, and the next case is I'm going to check one more method here. So public, okay, void, let's say test, and second method, you can say second SECO and the second method 1, suppose test case 1, that is the reason I given 1, okay. So second method, what you have to write, key, we have to check whether the both suppose if I give two parameters, what saying this, if I'm having two, suppose in the second case, if I give a means if the first two and last two characters are same, then it will return true, okay. If the character length is equal to 2, then also it will return true. But if the character length is less than or equal to 1, then it will return false. Okay. But if I'll give A, C, D, then it will return false, because both characters are not both like first two characters and last two characters are not same. Okay. So in this case, if I how I'll write the test case for this. Okay. So let me just write the test case for this, whether the both test cases are same or not. Okay. What I'll write as a boolean, actual expectation is what? Actual expectation is what? Key once I'll say helper dot object. So helper dot uh, check first and last characters are same or not. Okay. If I'll give AB, in this case it should return true, right? So I should get assert true. So see, here I used assert equals, here I'm using assert true, right? So I said get assert true means I'm going to use assert true function to test it. Okay, whether this is returning true or false. So assert 2 will return true once the expected output will be true. Okay, so here I'll give this actual expectation. Okay, but asset 2 is taking one more parameter. I have to just write some message with that. Okay, the message. Okay, what is the reason the test case is failed? Okay, so both characters are not same. Both characters are not same. Okay, are not same. Due to this reason, the test case is failed actually. So that I'm going to write over here. 2 minutes. Showing this error, import static. Okay, we have to import this. Okay. 2 minutes. Something is wrong is happening. 2 minutes. Import. I just use here asset true, asset false. So static import I have imported. Right. What is the given? Add static import. I'm adding static import. 2 minutes. Asset true. Here I have to give here asset true. Okay, condition, actual condition, actual only only one. That expected output. If it is true, the value will be true. Then it will test case will be true. But don't forget to use at the rate test annotation with that. Okay. So this is what suppose I'm just doing. I'm testing my all this unit, right? You can write so many test cases for that. Okay. And what I'll do here, I'll just run this application, check this application whether it is running or not. You can just right click on the file also here, and you can say run as JUnit test. You can see here. You'll get the option over here, and here you can see our JUnit test case is start to run, and see you are getting greens. This is this color, and you can see here the result also is came. Okay, run. Three test cases are running. Test first method case 1, test second method case 2, test the third method case 2. All methods are successfully, right, running, behaving properly, right, based on the inputs whatever we have given over here for our test cases, right? But if I just change anything over here, what happened? If I change anything over here, let me just come over here in the JUnit test case. If I give ASD, suppose assert equals AAD, and let me just run this JUnit test case. I just given the expected value, some different, actual value, some different. In that case, See, one test case will be failed, but two test case will be passed. See, the first test case is failed actually. See, you can see cross symbol over here. The reason is what they given here. org dot open test 4j assertion failed error expected is AAD, but it was AACD. Means the expected you is AAD, but is it is AACD is coming. Okay, so that is the reason it's not matching with the expected criteria, and that is the reason the test case is failed. Okay, so this is the way we are going to test our functionality, our units, our classes with the JUnit test case framework. Okay, so this is the way we are going to use the JUnit actually. Okay, now, but we have to just I'm just going because we don't have that much of time to explain the JUnit all the things. Okay, we have so many things are there. Test runner is there, test suits are there. So that thing we like in the project we are not going to implement actually. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start how to use the Mockito with this, and why the why we need the Mockito again. Okay, let me say about the Mockito. That, like the JUnit, I just tried something about the Mockito also. Mockito also. Okay, so what I'll do over here, for Mockito, I'll just write Mockito is also a framework. Okay, Mockito is also a framework. Okay, so this is also a framework. So Mockito framework, we can say. Okay, so what is the reason of this Mockito framework? So Mockito is one of the you can say popular uh, testing framework. Okay, testing framework, you can say this is also one testing framework. Okay, now testing framework, but we have already the testing framework, right? JUnit is enough to test all the components, but why they need this Mockito actually? So Mockito is the testing framework is used to create the fake object or mock object in unit tests. So it is used to create mock object, okay, for our unit test. Okay, so it's going to create a fake object for you. Okay, now I'll say in which scenario you need the fake object to create and all. Okay, so this is what the Mockito, now it's what it's providing actually. It allows you can say developer uh, to just okay, simulate the behavior of object objects or dependent objects, you can say behavior of the objects and their dependencies. Okay, I'll show you one scenario actually where why we need this Mockito actually. So it allows us to, right, allows us to allows developer to simulate the behavior of the object and their dependency. Okay, now it's we used, so when we use actually, suppose I'm having just check a scenario. Suppose I'm having one interface. We are using the repository interface, but I'll come later the repository part. I'm having one interface called customer service. Okay, customer service interface is there. Okay, which is providing some service for authenticate our customer. Okay, authenticate our customers. Okay, by providing some username and by providing some password. So this is the method they declared in this customer service. Suppose this customer service interface is not there in your project, is implemented in somewhere else, right? So this particular customer service is implemented in somewhere else. That is just consider it's implemented the above service implemented we can say in different component in different server. Okay, so someone is implemented, someone is tested, and it also well tested. Okay, but so but you want to use, suppose you want to you have the class called service, and in the service class you have the dependency of customer service. Okay, you have the dependency of customer service. Okay, and here we are going to define one method called, suppose, string get login. Okay, suppose this method is this method get login, and this get login is going to call the service method, service authenticate method of the service by using the service object. Okay, by using the service dot authenticate. Okay, service dot authenticate by using the username and by using the password, suppose. Okay, here also suppose I'm giving the string username, and here I'm giving the string password. Okay, and based on this method implementation, suppose I'm returning, okay, login success or login fail. Okay, login success, else will say return login fail. Okay, so login fail. Okay, login fail. Now see, I told you that just consider this customer service is implemented in somewhere else. Okay, so customer service is implemented in somewhere else. Okay, this interface is implemented by some class in the other server, and that is well tested. Now we have a class called service, we have our own class called service. Okay, and this service class having this dependency of customer service. Okay, so and I want to test this service class. This is my responsibility to test this service class, but we have the dependency of service and which is already tested. Okay, and this service inside the I have to test the get login actually by using the username password, and the get login is again calling the authenticate, and this authenticate is already like we have to test the get login, and for that we need the mock object for customer service. And in this case we need the mocking concept actually. Here we need the mock object. We have to say that I want to create the object for this to test my current test cases. Okay, and I have to also say when I'll uh, just I have to provide some stubbing information. Stubbing information means when I'll call the authenticate method, then what should happen. Okay, so this also I have to say to my test framework so that it can be test my entire unit, entire component. Okay, so what I'll do here. Okay, so this is what my everything is fine right now over here. Okay, so now I have to start the mocking for this class, sorry, this dependency. So what is the meaning of mocking actually? So mocking means what? uh to create means to create a fake object. Okay, or you can say mock object. Okay, mock object that we can say simulate the behavior of the real object, simulate the behavior of real object. Okay, simulate the behavior of the real object. Okay, so this is what mocking, but there is one more term is there. What is the called stubbing? Okay, stubbing also one component is there. Stubbing refers, you can see here, the stubbing refers, what is the stubbing refers? To define the behavior of mock objects. What the mock objects have to do? Behavior of mock objects when specific, okay, methods are called. methods are called. Specific methods are, we can say, called. Okay, so that means you can tell the mock object to return a certain value when methods is invoked. So that means we can uh, we can say to our mock object, or you can inform to our mock object, or instruct to our mock object, okay, to return. Let me just write to return a certain value. Some value should be returned when a method is invoked. When a method is invoked, okay, what I need to do? Okay, then we have one more thing. We are going to use verification for that, whether we are going to call that same method or not, and we're getting the exact output or not. So one more terminology is there called verification. Okay, verification. So this provided the Mockito. Let me just write here Mockito provided ability, okay, to verify, okay, the certain methods, certain, we can say, certain methods where Jojo methods were called. Okay, certain methods were called on the mock objects, on the mock object with specific argument is valid or not. Okay, so it's just going to verify that. Okay, so Mockito provided the ability to verify the certain methods were called on the mock object with the specific, what I with the specific argument, we can say with the specific argument. Let me just write specific argument. Okay, so this is what verification part we are going to do, this verification. Okay, so these are the actually terminologies are there with the mock. And now this is also framework. So this framework provides, okay, FRAME framework provides some annotation, like we can use @mock, we can use @inject mock. ओके, तो मॉक कब यूज करेंगे? जब मेरा कोई सब डिपेंडेंसी हम यूज कर रहे हैं इधर, देखिए जैसे कस्टमर सर्विस का डिपेंडेंसी हम यूज कर रहे हैं, राइट, but I don't know the real implementation for this. Okay, so without knowing the real implementation, that is the reason we are just mocking this object, and we are going to just stubbing these objects by what the, see, stubbing means what? Stubbing refers to define the behavior of the objects when the specific methods are called. That means we can inform to the mock object to return the certain value when the method is called. So just I'm just mocking this, and verification is just verifying. So it's verifying what? The verify the certain methods were called on the mock object with the specific argument. Okay, and these are the annotations we can use with the mock to just check, like just create a mock object and to inject the mock object. So we are going to use this methods and all, and they provided so many methods here: when method, then return method, okay, verify methods. So methods we use like we can say like when, okay, when method call means we're calling the method, okay, then based on that then return value. So this is the methods of the mock. Or if you want to return in the exception, you can say then return, we can say exception, then return exception. So we are returning the exception. If value will not return, If it is returning the exception, then you can say then return exception also. Okay, like this way. When the method is called, then what should happen? Okay, what should happen for that? Okay, and we can also verify the result or expectation using the asset function. Already I told you in the JUnit by using the asset equals, not equals, asset null, not null. Okay, like that. These are the methods are there, and we can verify the method were called with the correct parameter or not. For that, we are using the one of the method called verify method. So these are simple methods we are going to use here. We need a mock object, okay, and we need here to call the method call with proper parameter, with the proper parameter is going to be called or not. So these are the family of mock. We are going to create, and we are going to apply some methods. That is called, this process we are going to say stubbing this method, and third process we are saying that verify that particular object or mock object. So mocking, stubbing, and verification, these three steps we have to do this do we have to complete for this. Okay, let me show you this for this one example with our, like how we are going to use on in your application also. जैसे आपका प्रोग्राम में उसको आप कैसे यूज करेंगे. So for that I'm going to use that. Okay, so let me do one thing. So as my system become hang, actually I cannot able to click the mouse. एक बार मैं रिस्टार्ट हो रहा हूँ. कैन सो कैन यू कैन आई ऑफ द सिस्टम वंस गाइस.
Okay, sir.
हाँ एक बार मेरा ना ये हो रहा है. आ गया. इसको मैं सेव कर लेता हूँ, आपको भेज दूंगा मैं इसको. So this programs also I share with you. Okay, and let me show you one program with this. One more program. I'll just create new Spring Starter project. Okay, ट्रेन, हाँ ट्रेन का लिखे थे ना. That is also everything is there now. So train is not there in the STS. I hope. I think I have created in Eclipse that day.
सर आपका माइक ऑन नहीं है सर.
So in the train repository, what I'm trying to say, yesterday I told you that we can also write the query. Sorry, we can also write our methods we can declare without writing the query. So suppose here I give him the name of my string variable attribute train name. In that case, I can just write here find train by name, find train by name. Okay, and you can pass this string train name. I'll show you that whether it's working or not. We'll test it with our testing JUnit testing and Mockito. This repository will test. Okay, the behavior of the service class will test. Generally we are testing two things, either the behavior of the service class or either the repository. Sometimes we can also test our controller also. Guys, थोड़ा मुझे 5 मिनट समय दीजिए, मैं आ रहा हूँ, थोड़ा सा 5 मिनट दीजिए guys. I'll come.
Yes.
Zdaleka कहाँ हो?
बोले संदीप एंटिटी क्लास बनाना स्टार्ट कर दिया।
जो सागर सर का एक एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि जैसे कि कोई क्वेरी नहीं लिख के, सपोज मैं कोई क्वेरी लिखूंगा नहीं और मैं क्या करूंगा कि ऐसा वेरिएबल का नाम डिक्लेयर करूंगा, जैसे मैंने नाम दिया हूँ ट्रेन नेम सपोज, इधर दिया हूँ सोर्स स्टेशन। तो will he told that as much as possible try to avoid the queries, right? So what I'll write here, if I'll say find by, there is find by, say find by what, this train name. Train name is what, this, the train name is nothing but a attribute. So ये क्या करता है कि find by method को जब ये चेक करता है तो it's going to write the same query for you and it's going to fetch the particular train name based on the given parameter. तो ये जैसे अब मेरे पास फाइंड
सर
ट्रेन नेम,
एक बार फिर से बोलिए, क्या बोले सर ये चीज।
हाँ ये बोल रहा हूं मैं, कल संदीप भी बताए थे मुझे कि सागर सर बोल रहे हैं कि जैसे हम लोग अभी रिपोजिटरी में क्या सीखे हैं कि क्वेरी, जैसे मैं इसके लिए क्वेरी लिखा था ना, सिलेक्ट ट्रेन बाय, गेट ट्रेन
हाँ
बाय
हाँ
नेम।
हाँ सर, वो बोले थे क्वेरी नहीं लिखना हम लोगों को, हम लोग
क्वेरी
बस
नहीं, ये हाँ क्वेरी एकदम जहां पर जरूरत पड़े, ट्राई टू अवॉइड द क्वेरीज एज मच एज पॉसिबल, ये टोल्ड लाइक दैट। तो मुझे ऐसा वेरिएबल का नाम डिक्लेयर किया हूं जैसे ट्रेन नेम, ठीक, या वेरिएबल का नाम होता खाली नेम, तो हम उसको कैसे मेथड में जनरेट करते, फाइंड बाई हो गया आपका मेथड का नाम और इसके बाद से लिख देंगे आप लोग एट्रीब्यूट का नाम। तो ये क्या करेगा कि अपने आप रिपोजिटरी क्या करेगा कि इज गोइंग टू जस्ट take this find by and based on the train name it's going to write the query for you। तो इसके लिए जैसे फिर हम लोग यदि खाली नेम होगा ट्रेन का तो फाइंड ट्रेन, फाइंड बाय खाली नेम, यदि एट्रीब्यूट का नाम खाली नेम होगा तो फाइंड माय नेम। ओके, अब इस केस में तो वी कैन राइट लाइक दैट, बट व्हाट विल हैपन इफ आई एम हैविंग टू पैरामीटर्स, फाइंड बाय सोर्स नेम एंड डेस्टिनेशन नेम, तो ऐसे इसको देंगे फाइंड I want a list of train, okay, find by source name and destination name and
ये ऑटोमेटिकली क्वेरी जनरेट कर देगा।
हाँ ये ऑटोमेटिक क्वेरी जनरेट कर देगा।
सर एक बार रन
सोर्स
करके दिखाइए ना।
नेम, हाँ रन करके दिखाएंगे। डेस्टिनेशन नेम हम लोग पास करेंगे दो पैरामीटर, स्ट्रिंग सोर्स नेम, तो मैं लंबा ये सोर्स नेम नहीं लिख के सोर्स और डेस्टिनेशन नेम लिखते तो अच्छा रहता, तो आप लोग भी ऐसे करिएगा, सोर्स डेस्टिनेशन, प्रोडक्ट नेम का नेम ऐसे कैटेगरी, प्रोडक्ट नेम मत लिखिएगा तो थोड़ा सा इजी होगा, क्वेरी भी मेथड का नाम भी ये होगा लिस्ट।
हाँ तो मगर सर हम लोग को मैप करना होगा ना टेबल नेम के साथ, वरना तो प्रॉब्लम है।
हाँ
वो
टेबल
कॉलम
नेम
यूज
के
करें,
एट्रीब्यूट के साथ,
कॉलम यूज करें। अच्छा अच्छा।
एट्रीब्यूट नहीं, जब आप एंटिटी यूज करेंगे तो क्लास नेम के साथ मैप करना पड़ेगा वजीर, और वेरिएबल नाम के साथ मैप करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि जेपीक्यूएल क्वेरी लिख रहे हैं ना।
हाँ हाँ वो समझ गए।
हाँ हाँ, तो ये दो मेथड को मैं रिपोजिटरी में लिखा हूँ, इसको मैं कॉल कर रहा हूँ, मैं क्वेरी देखिए कमेंट किया हूँ। ओके, तो मैं इसको कॉल करूंगा कहाँ से, डाउ से, तो आई गो टू द डाउ, डाउ में ऑब्वियसली इट विल शो द मेथड बिकॉज़ आई चेंज द मेथड नेम हियर, और मैं फाइंड बाय नेम जहाँ पर किया हूँ, फाइंड बाय नेम, फाइंड बाय आईडी, फाइंड बाय नेम इज देयर। ओके, तो इधर मैं कर देता हूँ कि repositories dot find by train name and I pass the key name over here। okay, and source और destination का भी किए थे ना हम लोग कहीं, source destination का नहीं किए थे। सपोज सोर्स डेस्टिनेशन का भी एक मेथड बना देते हैं इधर, पब्लिक लिस्ट ऑफ ट्रेन, ओके ट्रेन, इधर तो हम लोग कुछ भी नाम दे सकते हैं मेथड का, गेट ट्रेन बाय सोर्स src and dest, suppose string source and string d, suppose। तो इधर क्या करेंगे कि रिटर्न repos dot find by करेंगे तो you'll get all these find by methods। so find by ये दो पैरामीटर्स s, d, और इसका भी रिटर्न टाइप आपका लिस्ट है, तो इट्स गोइंग टू रिटर्न द लिस्ट। ओके सो नाउ लेट मी, ये मैं एग्जीक्यूट करूंगा तो मुझे पता चल जाएगा कि ये क्वेरी जनरेट हो रहा है कि नहीं, नहीं तो क्वेरी जनरेट नहीं होगा तो इट विल show you the error message over here। Look, let me just check once। okay so run this code without any bug। कहीं पर तो एक प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है क्वेरी में ही, कॉपी इनटू ना, ये दूसरा प्रॉब्लम है। लेट मी जस्ट चेक दिस, क्वेरी में ही प्रॉब्लम है। फेल टू क्रिएट अ क्वेरी, क्या क्वेरी किसमें, सोर्स एंड डेस्टिनेशन नेम में प्रॉब्लम दे रहा है, राइट, फाउंड फॉर टाइप ट्रेन। ओके तो लेट मी चेक दिस मेथड वंस अगेन, तो सही है कि नहीं। ओके तो आई जस्ट डू वन थिंग, आई गो टू मिनिमाइज इट and I'll go to the repository। this is working, find by train name is working, but find by source uh, name and desti एट्रीब्यूट में सोर्स नेम दिया है ना, इसलिए मैं लिख रहा हूँ सोर्स स्टेशन। अच्छा सोर्स स्टेशन दिया हूँ, सोर्स स्टेशन एंड डेस्टिनेशन स्टेशन।
सर
हाँ ये
अच्छा,
ये
सोर्स का स्पेलिंग भी मिस्टेक था इसी वजह से।
जी सोर्स का अच्छा हाँ हाँ, सोर्स स्टेशन देना पड़ेगा, SOURC सोर्स स्टेशन एंड आप देखिए इधर डेस्टिनेशन स्टेशन।
तब तो सर ये और इजी कर देता है सर, और ही नहीं लिखना पड़ता सर।
हाँ इजी कर देता है, सोर्स स्टेशन और इधर है आपका डेस्टिनेशन स्टेशन, है ना। तो we have to call the method also, we have to change source नेम की जगह पर स्टेशन और डेस्टिनेशन नेम की जगह पर डेस्टिनेशन स्टेशन। हाँ जी SOURC। अब मैं इसको टर्मिनेट करता हूँ, एक बार रन करता हूँ फिर से। सी एक मिनट, फिर से कहाँ पर प्रॉब्लम आया, नो पैरामीटर एंड डेस्टिनेशन स्टेशन। अच्छा एंड डेस्टिनेशन स्टेशन में फाउंड फॉर traverse spot called train dot source station। okay train dot source station, string source station। 2 minute, I'm giving here two parameters. Two minutes. I'm giving here two parameters. देखते हैं पर source station and destination station. Okay.
सर डेस्टिनेशन का स्पेलिंग देख लीजिए पहले.
And
सर कैपिटल डी आर्गुमेंट में आर्गुमेंट.
oh des, oh destination. सोर्स स्टेशन का सही है ना, डेस्टिनेशन का नहीं है. इसका ले लिया है, फाइंड बाय ट्रेन नेम का लिया है, सोर्स स्टेशन का नहीं. एक मिनट, कहीं तो एक मिनट में क्रिएट क्वेरी रिटर्न वेरिएबल सोर्सेस में नो प्रॉपर्टी एंड डेस्टिनेशन बोल के कोई प्रॉपर्टी इसको नहीं मिल रहा है. अच्छा रुकिए रुकिए रुकिए, एंड को मैं ये करता हूँ. डेस्टिनेशन एंड destination station find this and destination station ही दिया है ना. देखो चेक कॉपी पेस्ट किया था मैं. ये create query इसको source station and type train 2 minute. रिपोजिटरी में लिख रहा हूँ ट्रेन बाई नेम हो गया. इसका नाम देता हूँ, थोड़ा सा छोटा सा नाम देता हूँ. तो सोर्स स्टेशन नहीं देके सोर्स देता हूँ और इसको डेस्टिनेशन देता हूँ. और let me just create the certificate for this once again. Source station and destination station. ये तो and destination ट्रेन सर्विस IMPL में आपका कहीं पर ये सोर्स डेस्टिनेशन यूज कर रहे हैं हम लोग. गेट और इधर करेंगे गेट सोर्स. इधर करेंगे फाइंड बाय सोर्स एंड डेस्टिनेशन. इधर करेंगे सोर्स और इधर करेंगे डेस्टिनेशन. ओके, फाइंड बाय सोर्स पार्सल आया हुआ है, एक मिनट में आता हूँ, तो एक मिनट। So let me run once again this part. I'm just checking this. Maybe I given the wrong attributes. Let me just run it once again. HQL is showing the program result provided source. Acha, I have given here source station in the repository. Here I given source and destination, but here this problem is showing, not showing in the query, showing the problem in when I'm calling this method. So let me just say find by, okay, source and destination. Okay. So let me just run this once again, and it will run perfectly now. सोर्स स्टेशन देंगे तब पर भी रन होता, मैं एस स्मॉल लोअर केस में दे रहा था, एस शुड बी इन। अच्छा ये फिर क्या कर रहा है कि कौन सा में प्रॉब्लम कर रहा है, कुड नॉट रिजॉल्व सोर्स स्टेशन ऑफ, कहीं तो सोर्स स्टेशन है। अच्छा कहीं तो हम लोग सोर्स स्टेशन अभी भी पास कर रहे हैं रिपोजिटरी में कोई। हाँ ना, ये जब क्वेरी कोई एग्जीक्यूट करने जा रहा है ना, तभी ये बोल रहा है कि सोर्स स्टेशन कुड नॉट बी रिजॉल्व, क्वेरी में ही बोल रहा है ये इसमें।
सर नीचे सर, हाँ सर नीचे शायद वो आपका एसक्यूएल लिखा है ना, उसमें ही कुछ इशू है सर, वो चेंज कर लीजिए। हाँ हाँ, यहाँ टी डॉट सोर्स स्टेशन।
इसको ना, हाँ हाँ, ये सोर्स स्टेशन डेस्टिनेशन स्टेशन लिखे हैं इसके, ये अपडेट वाला है। नहीं तो एक काम करते हैं, कमेंट नहीं करके चेंज कर देते हैं, सही रहेगा। खाली ये सोर्स कर देते हैं और इसको डेस्टिनेशन कर देते हैं। अब वो क्वेरी में प्रॉब्लम नहीं हो रहा है, इस क्वेरी में हो रहा है, तो अब ये रन करेगा। लेट मी जस्ट चेक वंस, रन वंस। Now you can see the Tomcat is not started till now. Tomcat is running and started on the port now. This means all queries are executed correctly. Means all the repository section is executed correctly, right? तो हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं इधर कि we are just using our attribute names. फाइंड बाय ये मेथड का नाम हो गया सपोज, और सोर्स इज द एट्रीब्यूट नेम, बिकॉज ये मेथड का हम लोग का नेमिंग कन्वेंशन है। फाइंड बी कैपिटल, नेक्स्ट वर्ड कैपिटल हो जाएगा, फिर नेक्स्ट वर्ड कैपिटल हो जाएगा, फिर ऐसे करके। यदि हमको एक और क्वेरी लिखना है सपोज पब्लिक आई वांट टू गेट द ट्रेन, फाइंड बाय, जितना सिलेक्ट क्वेरी लिखना है, फाइंड बाय प्राइस लेस देन, price less than, let me say less than
सर स्पेसिफिक आईडी का अगर फेच करना हुआ तो
ट्रेन नेम से, नंबर से, राइट,
हाँ
ट्रेन नंबर से। तो आराम से लिख सकते हैं ना कि पब्लिक ट्रेन फाइंड बाय ट्रेन नंबर, यू कैन से लॉन्ग ट्रेन नंबर। इस दोनों को एग्जीक्यूट करता हूँ, ये भी एग्जीक्यूट हो गया। वंस दिस इज आल्सो एग्जीक्यूट नहीं होता तो क्वेरी में प्रॉब्लम आता।
अच्छा सर समझ गए सर, ये तो हो जाएगा।
हाँ ये हो जाएगा, ये इजी है, थोड़ा सा देख लेंगे, और इसका मैं अलग भी एक एग्जांपल बना के आप लोग को भेज भी दूंगा एक रेफरेंस के लिए।
जी सर, जहाँ पे जॉइनिंग वगैरह होगा वो मतलब जैसे एक टेबल का, जैसे रेस्टोरेंट आईडी हम लोग का केस में दिया है, अगर ऑर्डर फाइंड करना हो, ऑर्डर तो अलग टेबल पे है, तब कैसे होगा सर?
अच्छा तब एट्रीब्यूट तब क्वेरी चाहिए, ट्राई करिएगा लिखने के लिए।
हाँ तब तो क्वेरी
अदरवाइज
लगेगा ना, उस केस में तो
हाँ,
क्वेरी यूज कर
उस
सकते हैं
केस
ना।
में क्योंकि वो दूसरा टेबल में है ना, सेम टेबल के लिए यूज कर लीजिएगा इसको, सेम टेबल के लिए यूज कर लीजिएगा। लेकिन यदि अलग टेबल के ज्वाइनिंग पब्लिक, मान लीजिए मुझे ट्रेन चाहिए, अभी तो मेरे पास दो ट्रेन है, फाइंड बाई रूट, ऐसे लिख सकते हैं ना, फाइंड बाई रूट।
सर मॉकेटो कंप्लीट हो गया?
ना मॉकिटो भी करा है, मतलब ये मैं जस्ट इसको चेक कर रहा हूँ, ज्वाइनिंग वाला बहुत पता है ना, इसलिए इसको मॉकिटो अभी इसमें।
हाँ
हाँ
हाँ यही बोल रहे
इसी
थे, इसी में कर दीजिए।
हाँ, कुछ कुछ तो क्वेरी तो अलाउड है ना, कुछ कुछ क्वेरी लिख के करिएगा, और मैक्सिमम ट्राई करिएगा जो सिंगल सिंगल टेबल से हो, उसको ऐसे करके मेथड के थ्रू उसको लिख लीजिए। अच्छा अब इसका मैं इसी एप्लीकेशन में हम लोग का सारा कुछ है, वैलिडेशन, एक्सेप्शन हैंडलिंग, एवरीथिंग आर देयर। नाउ इन द टेस्टिंग, टेस्टिंग या आज सॉरी, मैं इसका मॉक ऑब्जेक्ट बना लिखा था शायद आप लोग को समझाने के लिए ही, पहले से मैं लिखा था इसमें। तो ये मेरा देखिए, मैं क्या किया हूँ कि इन द पैकेज यू कैन सी इन द एसआरसी टेस्ट क्लास जावा, आपके भी जो प्रोजेक्ट बनाएंगे उस प्रोजेक्ट में एक आपका डिफॉल्ट फाइल, जावा फाइल, टेस्ट फाइल दे विल गिव, डिफॉल्ट टेस्ट फाइल दे विल गिव। So in that test file, right, I'm just writing here, I wrote some this test related test case related codes over here, okay। तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूं कि मैं जैसे इस दोनों को मॉक करना चाहता हूं, दोनों ये इस क्लास में ये दो डिपेंडेंसीज है, सॉरी ये मेरा सर्विस क्लास में, सर्विस क्लास को मैं इस पर्टिकुलर क्लास को मैं टेस्ट करना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि दिस इज माय business class and this is my service class, and that is the reason I want to test this class, okay। But in this class I'm having one dependent object, right? So train repository, if you see here, it's again inherited from the any other external repository interface, right, which is created by the spring boot, right, spring boot data jpa, राइट। तो ये कोई और बनाया है ये हम लोग को, राइट, और दैट इज ऑलरेडी टेस्टेड, वेल टेस्टेड, दिस इज ऑलरेडी वेल टेस्टेड। But since this a particular object dependency we are using in our this service implementation class, and we need to test this all these methods of the service implementation, जितने getter method हैं सबको टेस्ट करना यदि है मुझे, तो I need a mock object for this, right, so that I can able to verify these objects work, the methods of the objects are working properly or not, and without मतलब जो भी इससे हम लोग ऑब्जेक्ट से मेथड कॉल करेंगे, that should not store to my database also, that is should not actually affect my database also. So what I did in the src/test/java folder, in this package, the package which is created over here, this you can see the root package. In this package you can create one more class also, and so but they given one class for you over here, test class. And in this test class, what I did, actually I don't need to create the mock object for this. Generally I have to create the mock object for this actually, because this is something called train repository. A train repository is the type of JPA repository. So I want to actually mocking this JPA repository, my repository, whether my repository working perfect or not, based on this particular expectation. Correct now? So this I want to test. So what I want, what I did over here, let me show you this test case I wrote. So test case, the methods I have started with the test, so that so test annotated method. What I did, I have just given here test over here, test. So this is my this is saying this I'm going to test this particular application. Okay. Now what I'm writing here, suppose I have just created one empty array list. I want to test this view all train, or else we can also say here, let me just, instead of this, I can say repos dot find all, right? Find all should return a list, right? So find all method is there in the repository. So I want to test the behavior of this, and this should return. So this is, I'm mocking here. I'm creating the mock object over here, and I'm just stubbing over here that once I'll call the method of this mock on this object, okay, then what should this should return, right? Then I'm saying if I'll call this object, then this should return a list object, right? So that is what list, the return type of this is list. So I want to, I'm expecting the list of what, list of obviously the train object should return. Okay, if I'll enter two train objects is there in the list, so two will be the output. Okay, size of the list will be 2. Okay, so for that I used here one assert function, right? That what should be the list of size, if this find will call and if will return the list, so the list size I'm giving here, suppose 2. Okay, but here I given the list size 2 over here, but this is not recommended to write the assert function over here. But anyhow, the list here I have declared, so it will always give you 2, right? Every time it's going to give you the 2. Okay, but so what I'll do over here in the instead of writing this, we can just use some verify type of method. Okay, so I'll just use here, instead of writing this, I'll just say that verify. Okay, verify the mock object which I created. I created the mock object called repository, repos. Okay, dot, I'll say find all. Okay, so mock object dot verify whether I'm calling it with the proper parameter or not. Okay, so let me just test this is whether it's running or not. Okay, let me just check. So I can check it, I can just run it on the JUnit test case, and you can say it's okay. So test view all train, see it's showing the error. What is the error? Or this test case is not passed, wanted but not invoked, repos dot find all, it's not invoked. Okay, at com dot spring boot, this what is this, actually there were 0 interaction with this mock, there is no interaction with the mock actually. So let me just check with the, let me minimize it. but the next test case is passed actually, and but one test case is failed. So that is the reason is showing this particular red color error message. Okay, so let me just check it once. uh, so if I'll give you a assert, okay, so let me just check. Okay, and if I'll give service IMPL, why is that? Because I have to check the service IMPL. Service IMPL. What is the name I given for this IMPL? Okay, service IMPL dot service IMPL dot find get all train. Okay, so let me just check once and terminate the previous one. So I need the assert also, so that now it's saying something here. Let me just show you this key. Assertion failed, expected 2. So expectation is 2, but it was blank is coming because I'm just creating the mock object, so it's not fetching all the like, just I'm fetching the mock object, but it's returning what, returning the like blank. So but here I given this, what the mock is, whatever I stuffed in the mock, that I have to give. So I stuffed, once I'll call the find all, then it should return a list, and list can have suppose 2 objects. So here I'll say, so list dot size, if I'll give, so is, then let me repose dot find all. Okay, so repose dot find all is returning list. Let me just do one thing, because repose is the type of train repose, right? So if I say here सर्विस, बिकॉज सर्विस आईएमपीएल को ही हम लोग इसमें इसका भी मॉक बनाए हैं, तो वी डोंट नीड दिस get by id get all train, and here say mock of service IMPL dot get by train, इसका मेथड फाइंड ऑल नहीं है, dot get all train. So let me just check it, क्योंकि रिपोजिटरी को ब्लैंक टेस्ट करेंगे तो नहीं होगा. Let me test it. Two. It all was wanted but not invoked. It all train को invoke नहीं किया हम लोग. Terminate. So here it's showing because this is returning the view two train object. When I'm going to fetch is going to return two train objects, and verify जब कर रहे हैं, verify then it's failed. Let me just terminate it once again. and let me run it. So service.getImpl is tested, they run return list. If I'll say लेकिन वेरीफाई जब कर रहे हैं तो इट्स फेल्ड बाय wanted but not invoked servlet service impl dot get already. Yeah, so actually there are zero interaction with this mock. Okay, अच्छा वेरीफाई थोड़ा सा इस नेक्स्ट में चेक करके देखता हूँ 2 minute. Just a minute. Here also I'm testing test train by number. Okay, it's throwing the invalid train exception if the train number will not found. Okay, so in this case what I write, train t new train service when I'm stubbing over here, when service impl dot get train by number, suppose I'm giving just consider 1, so it's return the t object, t means train object, and if this not found, so it should given the, it should throw the exception called invalid train exception. That also we have done. And assert t, t means if it is returning, if this t is not null, then it's saying that true. Okay, so let me वेरीफाई चेक करता है. वेरीफाई में क्या हम लिखे हैं इधर, वेरीफाई इज जस्ट चेकिंग. So Mockito provided the ability to verify the certain methods were called on the mock object with the specific argument or not. तो हम लोग इसमें तो इसका तो कोई आर्गुमेंट है नहीं, तो इसमें एक बार वेरीफाई इसलिए लगा के मैं चेक करता हूँ कि वेरीफाई चेक कर रहा है कि वो कॉल कर रहा है कि नहीं ऑन द मॉक ऑब्जेक्ट ऑन द स्पेसिफिक आर्गुमेंट और नॉट. सो सर्विस impl डॉट फाइंड क्या है इसका, गेट ट्रेन बाय नंबर बाय पासिंग दिस लॉन्ग है ना ट्रेन का नंबर और नॉट. लेट मी जस्ट रन दिस. तो verifying this object mock object is going to invoke on the methods by passing the proper parameter. लेकिन ये वाला में वो एक्चुअली इसको रन करता है 2 मिनट. ये तो देखिए ये 3 स्टेप है मॉक का. एक तो हम लोग मॉक बनाएंगे जिसको सपोज आई वांट टू create the mock for this. Okay, or else we can just check for the Mockito for repository also. mock बनाने के बाद हम लोग इसमें टेस्ट केस लिखेंगे using test annotation. तो लिस्ट बनाए हैं, we are stubbing it by when I will call this method, then what should return. Okay, and also we are asserting that list कितना size है, list का size, what is the expected size of the list. Okay, now same thing I'm doing for this also. Train t, when I'm doing this, then it's returning t and throwing this exception. Assert t, t means train object null, यदि not null होगा तो ये रिटर्न ये टेस्ट केस पास और वेरीफाई करेगा कि we are whatever the mock, we are creating the mock object. So with that object, if we can able to call this proper parameter, this we can able to call these methods. So I called on the mock objects with the specific argument or not. To verify the certain methods were called on the object with the specific argument or not. This is what we are testing it. एक बार इसको रन करता हूँ मैं फिर से. I have terminated it. Let me start the Spring Boot application also. Let me start this JUnit also. This test case is passed because वेरीफाई इसके पहले ही दे देना है, रुके तो आफ्टर टेस्ट केस वी आर रिटर्निंग दिस वेरीफाई दैट इज शोइंग, क्योंकि वेरीफाई तो हो रहा है। wanted not invoked 2 minute। ये वेरीफाई थोड़ा सा काम नहीं कर रहा है, बट स्टबिंग एंड ऑल इज वर्किंग। Verify the mock object. With that mock object we are going to call this train by number। verify हटा रहे हैं तो it's working properly both test cases। not in the starting for this 2 minute। एक मिनट। I said here that service impl dot get train by number 1l। So once without stubbing I'm trying, it's saying fail actually, but the moment I say start and I'll try now it's working। so without stubbing I it's इधर हमको सर्विस आईएमपीएल के क्लास देंगे तब ये समझ में आएगा। विदाउट स्टबिंग यू कैन नॉट एबल टू राइट call also। see if I'll just not serve stubbing or not inform the what this mock object had to do, and if I just call the get train by number, so in this case what it's showing here, it's showing failed, test case is failed। you can see here the test case is failed for this, failed, okay। but if I'll just stop this mock object, then what you have to behave, how you have to behave, then if I'll test using the assert function, then it's going to be success। see you will get the success report for that। we are actually not utilizing this train object, we can just calling the service impl.get train by number, and we are just using everything as the mock object over here। that is the things it's going to be used। इधर भी हम लोग assert भी लगा सकते हैं, और mock verify का verify should be last statement actually। तो verify वाला में ही प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है। ना ना जस्ट ट्रेन का तो देना ही पड़ेगा, क्योंकि ये ट्रेन ऑब्जेक्ट इसलिए बनाए थे ये कैन रिटर्न दिस टी ओवर हियर। Now it's okay. So like this way you have to call. इधर भी verify काम करेगा because you didn't use invoke this method, as the reason it's saying this. So stubbing, and here see what I did over here. For first I'm creating the object for this, right? So mock object, fake object. With this mock object, what I'm doing, I'm just check test train by number, train by price or something. So train t I just created. See train by price method में यदि sorry train by number में हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, देखिए कि we are saying if the train by number, if the train is existing, then we are returning this train object, or else we are throwing this means invalid train exception we are like throwing. So this method I want to test for this my business class. So train object I'm बनाया है. So for that mock object I'm stubbing over here, and I'm saying that if I'll call this method, then I should get return the train object, or else it should throw the invalid train exception. And I'm just using the JUnit assert function. So assert not null. I'm saying if service impl dot get train by number, I'm passing this one same value. I'm passing. If it is not returning, if it is returning null, right? If it is returning null, right? So this will be a test case will not be passed. If it is not null, then only this test case will be passed. Okay, from the database. Okay,
सर एक
and
क्वेश्चन सर, रिटर्न देन सॉरी देन रिटर्न एंड देन थ्रो, क्या
then
इसका मतलब
throw. हाँ इसका मतलब when मैं मेथड कॉल करूंगा, तो इसमें हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि जब ये मेथड कॉल होगा तो आइदर मेथड रिटर्न करेगा ऑब्जेक्ट यदि उसको मिल जाएगा तो, नहीं तो वो रिटर्न करेगा क्या, एक्सेप्शन ऑब्जेक्ट. तो इसलिए मैं जब इसका मॉक में स्टबिंग कर रहा हूं इसको कि इसका बिहेव कैसा होना चाहिए, तो बिहेव ये होना चाहिए कि व्हेन में मैं लिखूंगा उस मेथड को कॉल करूंगा. यू कैन सी हियर इन द व्हेन we are calling the method call. Actually this is the method call type. So enables the stubbing methods. Use it when you want the mock to return the particular value when particular method is called. Okay, तो ये when हो गया. उसके बाद से इसके ऊपर मैं क्या ये अप्लाई किया हूं, then what this method will return, then this method will return the one object of train. After that I'm
अगर
saying,
एक्सेप्शन थ्रो नहीं किया तब वो ऑब्जेक्ट रिटर्न करेगा, अदरवाइज अगर एक्सेप्शन थ्रो किया तो ये थ्रो करेगा.
हाँ ये अब इसको थ्रो करेगा.
अच्छा सर समझ गया. और
टेस्ट
ये
टेस्ट
डॉट
केस
से ही
फेल
होगा
होगा.
सर. अच्छा
हाँ
तो अगर इसको
ऐसे
हम लोग
करके
रिवर्स
आप
कर
लोग
दे तो कोई इशू नहीं है सर.
ना रिवर्स करेंगे तो कोई इशू नहीं है ना. रिवर्स करेंगे पहले तो आप लिखेंगे ऐसे, राइट? पहले इसको लिखेंगे देन थ्रो यू आर सेइंग, और देन रिटर्न टी, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. लेट मी जस्ट ऐसे करके हम लोग सारे मेथड्स को चेक कर सकते हैं.
सर पहले वाले में वेरीफाई काम नहीं कर रहा है मतलब.
हाँ उसको मैं देख रहा हूँ थोड़ा सा उसका. देन रिटर्न
इस केस पे फेल हो जाता है.
फेल हो गया. क्या किस रीजन से फेल हुआ? लेट मी जस्ट, वो देन रिटर्न वाला किए थे ना. हाँ ये देखिए अब इसलिए फेल हुआ कि जब मैं कुछ वैल्यू दूंगा तो वो ट्रेन ऑब्जेक्ट रिटर्न करेगा ना. तो सीक्वेंशियली वो क्या ले रहा है कि इनवैलिड ट्रेन का एक्सेप्शन ले रहा है. लेकिन तो यू हैव टू मेंटेन दिस. सो इफ दिस
तो ऑर्डर
देन,
मेंटेन करना सर.
हाँ जैसे जैसे इसका इफ दिस देन ट्रू पार्ट में देन रिटर्न द टी और एल्स रिटर्न द एक्सेप्शन, तब जाके ये देन थ्रो टी डॉट होगा इधर, तब जाके ये टेस्ट के साथ का पास कर देगा. लेट मी जस्ट टर्मिनेट इट. हमको लग रहा है कि जेनकिंस आपको यूज नहीं करना है ना.
नहीं वो सर इस प्रोजेक्ट में नहीं करना.
अच्छा जेनकिंस क्या यदि आपको ये होगा तो मैं स्टेप्स भेज सकता हूँ पूरा एकदम कंप्लीट स्टेप. वो देख देख के आप
नहीं सर, वो उस दिन
जिन
सागर सर बोल रहे थे कि अब जेनकिन यूज करते तो वो अपने आप टेस्ट केस बना लेता, अपने टेस्ट कर लेता, उनको
हाँ
कुछ
हाँ,
वो नहीं
मैंने
करना है,
बस
इस प्रोजेक्ट में नहीं
टेस्ट केस
करना।
हम लोग को लिखना है और वो अपने आप वो ये उसको ये कर देता है वो। तो नहीं करना है तो छोड़ दीजिए अब, क्योंकि बहुत टाइम बहुत कम है आप लोग के पास। 2 दिन का टाइम में प्रोजेक्ट करना है। और ये बताइए कि माइक्रो सर्विस मैं तब कब एक्सप्लेन करूँ आप लोग को?
सर जब प्रोजेक्ट में अभी तो प्रेजेंट में नहीं लग रहा है ना, प्रोजेक्ट में सर आई
हाँ
थिंक
हाँ,
नहीं लग रहा है।
नहीं
मतलब
लग रहा है,
सर
प्रोजेक्ट में नहीं लग रहा है, माइक्रो सर्विस दिया है।
दिया है तो सर एक बार आप मनीष सर से कम्युनिकेट करके
हाँ
शेड्यूल।
हाँ, मैं बात करूंगा।
ठीक।
तो मैं 16 को या तो आके मैं क्लास में आके करा दूंगा।
हाँ
हाँ
सर, आ जाइए।
16 को जरूर आइए। हाँ।
हाँ 16 को, यदि मतलब वो लोग बोलेगा तो।
नहीं तब भी आ जाइएगा सर, ऐसे मिलने के लिए तो आ सकते हैं।
पानी को
मिल
काट के
तो आ
पानी में
सकते हैं,
डाल देना, ठीक है।
भीतर भीतर परमिशन नहीं होगा ना वो। ये
वो विदाउट
रहता है ना हम
परमिशन।
लोग का गेट गेट पास। हम्म, तो ये है, ऐसे करके आप लोग सारे टेस्ट करके मुझे एक बार चेक कराइए, अपना प्रोजेक्ट में ही करिए और तभी हम लोग करेंगे। और देखिए एक प्रोजेक्ट में आप लोग को भेजा था बहुत पहले, उस प्रोजेक्ट में ये देखिए कि वो ये एक मैं भेजता हूँ अभी, क्रिकेट लीग के ऊपर वो प्रोजेक्ट बनाया था, कैप्जेमिनी का ही प्रोजेक्ट था। वो लोग भी टेस्ट केस लिखा था, देखिए कैसे सेम सेम वैसे लिखा है। देखिए पहले मॉक बनाया, मॉक बना के उसको टेस्ट किया, और सारे में कमेंट लिखना मत भूलिएगा। देखिए जैसे ये कमेंट लिखे हैं, टेस्ट फॉर गेटिंग इनवैलिड ऑर्गेनाइजर ऑब्जेक्ट, टेस्ट फॉर डिलीटिंग द ऑर्गेनाइजर देन चेकिंग इट इफ इट इज डिलीटेड और नॉट, टेस्टिंग फॉर गेटिंग ऑर्गेनाइजर, ऐसे करके लिखिएगा। और ऐसे करके वो टेस्ट किया, देखिए ऑर्गेनाइजर गेट ऑर्गेनाइजर को कैसे किए हैं टेस्ट। तो ऑर्गेनाइजर का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाए हैं, असर्ट फंक्शन यूज किए हैं, दैट एक्सेप्शन टाइप, यदि ऑर्गेनाइजर का ऑब्जेक्ट टेस्ट पर गेटिंग इनवैलिड ऑर्गेनाइजर, अच्छा इनवैलिड के लिए टेस्ट किया ये। तो एक्सेप्शन असर्ट दैट एक्सेप्शन टाइप यदि करेंगे तो सेम एक्सेप्शन टाइप वो आ रहा है कि नहीं, इसको टेस्ट कर रहा है। दूसरा कोई एक्सेप्शन आएगा तो ये फेल हो जाएगा। सेम एक्सेप्शन शुड बी शोन थ्रोन, तो ये मेथड यूज करिएगा, असर्ट दैट एक्सेप्शन टाइप। ऐसे करके डिलीट के लिए किया है, व्हेन स्टबिंग किया है, देखिए व्हेन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सर्विस आईएमपीएल डॉट डिलीट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, ये लेकिन डेटाबेस से डिलीट नहीं होगा, समझ गए ना। जस्ट हम लोग डमी चेक कर रहे हैं, देन रिटर्न 1, मतलब डिलीट होने के बाद 1 नहीं तो 0 आता है, तो इसलिए 1 रिटर्न किया है, डिलीट होगा सक्सेसफुल। तो एसेट फॉल्स में क्या कर रहे हैं कि रिपोजिटरी का जो मॉक बनाया है उसका एग्जिस्ट बाय आईडी 53 से वो टेस्ट कर रहा है कि अपडेट हुआ है कि नहीं। ऐसे करके वो टेस्ट किया है, गेट ऑल ऑर्गेनाइजर्स जैसे हम लोग व्यू ऑल ट्रेन कर रहे हैं, सर्विस डॉट गेट ऑर्गेनाइजर देन रिटर्न दिस असर्ट इक्वल्स, इसका साइज यदि मैच करेगा, और असर्ट दैट भी लगाया है कि ऑर्गेनाइजर जैसे जो रिपोजिटरी है, सॉरी ऑर्गेनाइजर जो लिस्ट है उसका साइज इज ग्रेटर देन 0 है, तो ये फंक्शन टेस्ट केस पास होगा। ऐसे करके अपडेट का है, इंसर्ट का है, ऐसे करके वो हर प्लेयर प्लेयर का भी सेम फाइल में ही किया है, प्लेयर टूर्नामेंट्स, हाँ ये टेस्ट फॉर ये आपको भेज देंगे, तो आपका भी प्रोजेक्ट के सेम रेफरेंस यूज करके आप लोग आराम से कर सकते हैं इसको। और ये वाला वेरीफाई में थोड़ा क्यों प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है रुकिए, तो सर्विस आईएमपीएल इधर अच्छा इधर तो नहीं करूँ, सर्विस IMPL dot get all train dot size। एक मिनट में इसको, और प्रोजेक्ट में शाम को यदि आप लोग को चाहिए होगा तो मैं आप लोग के लिए शाम को पहले से बोल दीजिएगा, तो मैं कोई प्रोग्राम नहीं रखूंगा जाने होने के इधर कि ये डाउट होगा और ये सब, तो मैं शाम को एक बार आधा घंटा 1 घंटा आप लोग का प्रोजेक्ट डाउट देख लूंगा। अब जाके देखिए ये वेरीफाई कर, क्योंकि मैं इसको कॉल नहीं किया था एसेट फंक्शन में, इसलिए वेरीफाई काम नहीं कर रहा था। तब क्या कर रहा था ये कि नो मेथड इन्वोक्ड दिखा रहा था, इसमें इसको कॉल करना है, इसे इसमें देखिए कॉल किया हूं मैं। तो वेरीफाई का यूज आप ऐसे कर सकते हैं, सेट नॉट, है ना। तो पहले मैं क्या किया था कि लिस्ट डॉट साइज में जस्ट लिख दिया था, लिस्ट का साइज। तो इस केस में देखिए फिर से मैं कर रहा हूं, यदि इफ आई राइट दिस assert equals though to list dot size, if I'll give size I have to pass here size, तब ये मेथड तो हम लोग मॉक को स्टबिंग कर रहे हैं इधर, लेकिन हम लोग टेस्ट तो नहीं कर रहे हैं ना इधर। तो इस केस में इसको हम रन कराए थे वेरीफाई से चेक करें कि प्रॉपर्ली वो पैरामीटर कॉल कर रहा है कि नहीं। तो फाइल टेस्ट इट विद द JUnit टेस्टिंग, ये देखिए ट्रेड हो गया, मतलब ये टेस्ट केस फेल हो गया, वांटेड बट नॉट इन्वोक्ड गेट ऑल ट्रेड, ये वाला। लेकिन यदि हम इसको इसमें लिख रहे हैं, मतलब आई एम जस्ट कॉलिंग इट एंड व्हाटएवर द साइज, क्योंकि मैं स्टब कर दिया इसको कि साइज दो ऑब्जेक्ट है तो दो ही साइज होना चाहिए, तो इट्स ऑलरेडी स्टब्ड। तो इन दिस केस I have called this method once, right, with the proper parameter, that the verify will check and say yes, it's called, it tested, and now it will run also. See, like this. इधर हम कर देंगे इधर 3 so let me 2 था, क्योंकि दो लिस्ट स्टोर कर रहे थे, दो ऑब्जेक्ट स्टोर कर रहे थे, तो लिस्ट का साइज ऑब्वियसली 2 रिटर्न करेगा, मॉक 2 रिटर्न करेगा, लेकिन इधर मैं एक्सपेक्टेड लिखा हूं 3। तो इस केस में मेरा टेस्ट केस फेल हो गया। देखिए क्या आया मैसेज कि एक्सपेक्टेड वाज 3 बट इट वाज एक्चुअल वाज 2। तो मतलब मॉक स्टब कर रहे हैं तो हम लोग यही लिस्ट को रिटर्न कर रहे हैं जिसमें 2 ट्रेन का ऑब्जेक्ट स्टोर है, लेकिन मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूँ 3, तो इसलिए फेल हो गया, राइट। और वेरीफाई में मैं उसी को कॉल कर रहा हूँ, वेरीफाई द स्टब्ड ऑब्जेक्ट और मॉक्ड ऑब्जेक्ट इज called by the actual parameters or not, है ना जी। तो ये मैं आपको ये नहीं, ये फाइल मैं आपको शेयर करता हूँ, ये जिसमें मॉक का ये लिखा है ऑर्गेनाइजर वाला, ये पूरा ये सेल सेंड कर देता हूँ आपको, राइट ना। तो यू कैन एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम हियर ऑल्सो, एंड ये प्रोजेक्ट भी सेंड कर देता हूँ, और जो मैं नोट्स लिखा हूँ वो भी सेंड कर देता हूँ। तो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट दिस टेस्ट, इतना कर देंगे तो आपका टेस्ट केस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए एटलीस्ट रेडी हो जाएगा। और उसके बाद से जस्ट माइक्रो सर्विस हम लोग का बस ज्यादा नहीं है, जस्ट हम 2-3 सर्विस बना के आपको कैसे इंटीग्रेट करते हैं, कैसे एक सर्विस दूसरे सर्विस से कम्युनिकेट करते हैं, डेटा को एक्सचेंज करते हैं with the different with the every microservices should have used the individual database, तो उससे कैसे करते हैं I'll just show you that in that day. Okay, so let me just speak with Manish sir once, okay, then I'll just confirm you whether I can conduct the class on 16th or not. Okay, तो ये रिकॉर्डिंग किए थे ना सेशन को आप लोग?
हाँ संदीप किया।
तो मैं इसको पूरा भेज देता हूँ, और आप लोग भी टेस्ट कर लीजिए एक बार, और उसके बाद से और आज का कोड जितना पॉसिबल हो आज